Welcome everybody, my name is Tommy T999 and we are here today for the Call of Duty World War II worldwide reveal trailer. Reaction, commentary, chat with you guys to understand what you think of this game. It is going to be the most anticipated Call of Duty for a few years now. I most certainly cannot wait to see what they have got in store. Hopefully you're just as buzzed for that as well. I'm going to quickly switch over to show you that we currently have just over 1 minute, 33 seconds left until this goes live. For those of you here already, thank you so much for joining. Looks like a few of you are here already, so thank you very much for being here. I will try and do as much of shout-outs as I can with the chat as well, going through that as and when I can. Hipster, I am so hyped too, so is Hans, Adam Stevens, Junior Keys, James Penn. If you are really hyped for this, make sure you smash the like button as well. It's not something I normally ask for, but you know what? If you fancy doing it, if you enjoy what you see, make sure you press the like button. If you don't like what you see from Call of Duty World War II, though, make sure you press the dislike button as well, because we've got to make sure we give our opinions across and fair and square as we so can be with Activision, because they want our feedback. So we are just a minute away. This is insane how close we are now. Hopefully everything is good, hopefully the sound is good from my mic, hopefully the desktop audio is going to be good as well. We are nearly there, just coming to 30 seconds. I've also got some other announcements at the end of the stream. We'll see how long this goes on for. I'm not sure exactly how long it goes on for, but we'll make sure we watch the trailer again if there is that. But hey, boots on the ground, Call of Duty World War II, supposedly going back to its roots. Are there going to be negatives to it going back to its roots? Has everybody got used to jumping around with jetpacks? We will see. Cobra, Mr. Rocketeer. So many of you in here. Thank you for being here. We are so close now. Just a few seconds remaining. Here we go. We are just about to find out what Call of Duty World War II has to offer.
Peggy 18.
Straight into a trailer. No way.
This day have set upon a mighty endeavor. Souls will be shaken with the violences of war. In this hour of great sacrifice, we shall prevail.
Get your head down and keep moving!
I do hope this is Twitch that's not struggling with this stream and it looks phenomenal.
We are all that separates the world from darkness. The enemy is ruthless. We cannot, we must not fail.
Duty first. Perez! Bumpy enough for you!
Okay, we will make sure this lag is so. We're going to watch this trailer through again. I'm guessing this could be Twitch overload that is causing this. We are watching this live on Twitch at the same time as many millions are around the world, more than likely.
How many casualties?
Flamethrowers.
Get me the fuck out of here! How many? We had orders! Get to cover!
So I'll definitely replay this once it's been gone through. I'm thinking this is just Twitch overload for the lag, but it looks phenomenal.
No sacrifice too great.
Welcome to the bloody first. You're a long way from Texas, farm boy.
So there we go. They've given us a taste of definitely the campaign. And now that it seems fine.
The world premiere of the reveal trailer for Call of Duty World War II. And we're just getting started. We're streaming to you live from the middle of London, but today is all about you, our fans all over the world. This game is the game that you've been waiting to see, and believe me when I say it's the game that we've been waiting to show you. Call of Duty has the most passionate fans anywhere. And throughout this live stream, we're going to be answering the questions that you've sent to us from all over the world over the last few days. When we greenlit this game 3 years ago now, we knew it was time for us to go back to our roots, back to the gritty, authentic, visceral military experience that Call of Duty was built on. This game delivers all that, and it also strives to capture the intense bonds of brotherhood that came from common everyday people who rose above the most epic and horrible conflict in human history. And with Sledgehammer Games at the helm, we knew we had the right team to deliver the cinematic scale and the relentless attention to detail that this conflict deserves and demands. Their passion and creativity has been inspiring to me from day one. Call of Duty World War II does more than just go back to boots on the ground. It also delivers a gripping, immersive story and a darker, reverent tone, which captures both the epic scale and the human struggle of this incredible conflict. Like so many people all over the world, many of us, myself included, have a personal connection to this conflict through family members who fought in this war. This story belongs to the entire world. This game truly recaptures that first Call of Duty value that no one fights alone. Call of Duty World War II also features a multiplayer game that brings back the intense, visceral, boots-on-the-ground gameplay our fans love, along with some great new innovations that push the game forward. And if you can't wait until November to play it, well, good news, you don't have to. I'm excited to announce right here, right now, that later this year, we'll be hosting a private multiplayer beta. This is just the beginning of a journey that we'll be taking with you all year. You're going to be hearing more from us more often with more information than ever as we reveal all the details we've got in store for you with Call of Duty World War II. And that starts right now. We've got a great lineup here today, ready to answer the questions that you've sent to us. In a few minutes, I'll be bringing up Michael and Glenn from the studio, as well as a few members of our cast. As you'll see, the team at Sledgehammer has poured their heart and soul into this game. No battle was too big, no detail was too small. From the painstaking historical research, to visiting each and every one of the game's real-life locations, to sweating the audio and visual details that get the era just right. The goal was to create the most immersive World War II universe ever. We wanted our long-standing fans to experience World War II like never before, and to introduce this historic conflict to a whole new generation of players along the way. So let's get right to it. Here's a behind-the-scenes look at the creative process at the studio, and a deeper look at what's coming in store with Call of Duty World War II.
That is how you do a global reveal, because that's what it was, the global reveal of the new Call of Duty game, going back to World War II. I'm OJ Borgia at the BFI in London, the IMAX screen, the biggest screen in the United Kingdom, which seems a fitting place to have a game of such cinematic scope. Now, watching that trailer for the first time, like you, I was so hyped watching it, and I would be hyped if it was any Call of Duty game, but the fact that Call of Duty is going back to its roots, I mean, I need to just calm down just slightly, because I am overhyped right now. But between the trailer and the video that we just saw, I am dying to know more about this game, and as I'm sure you are. That's why you've tuned into this live stream. So who do we talk to? Well, we talk to the people who made the game. That is Glenn and Michael from Sledgehammer Games. We're here right now. How excited are you guys right now?
Dude, after 2.5 years of sitting quiet, this is an incredible moment, so thanks.
It is just an exciting moment. Now, my heart's still racing. Hope the audience picks up on that.
Thank you.
It was a great trailer. My heart's still racing from it. It was gritty. We talked about the art direction in that documentary, which was dark and emotional. Do you know, it felt like what I would guess it would be like to be in World War II. Can you tell us a bit more then about the detail and the research that went into making this new Call of Duty?
Yeah, you know, getting World War II right is incredibly important to us. Many of us have family members that have been touched by the war, and paying attention to every detail is our way of honoring them. We spent 2.5 years researching, studying, taking thousands of photos, watching documentaries, and meeting with World War II veterans. We visited museums, driven vehicles, fired weapons, and used photogrammetry techniques to capture even the tiniest details.
Yeah, that's right. Look, we've gone to great lengths to follow in the footsteps of the soldiers of World War II. You know, in addition to Normandy, we literally traveled the routes of the 1st Infantry Division and other Allied units, from the English Channel to the hedgerows of northern France, through Luxembourg and Belgium and past the old city of Aachen, frankly, all the way to the Rhine. And it was great. We dug deep into the historical battle locations where many of the soldiers fought and sacrificed.
You talk about history, you talk about the accuracy. Am I right in thinking you had a historian working on this? In fact, we saw him, didn't we? In that mini-doc.
Yeah, we certainly did. Marty Morgan, amazing. He's renowned World War II historian and author. He's been a huge part of the team. He's worked with us for the last 2 years, and he's frankly devoted his life to capturing the stories of soldiers on the front line.
I'm here, Shadow, don't worry.
With him as
just
a
watching, just like you. It's not me breathing, it's the guy on the stream.
Asset to the team. He's really helped us capture the essence of war for fans.
Now, we only learned about this a couple of days ago. You'll have been sitting on this, I think Glenn said, for 2.5 years. Since the reveal, How are you feeling right now? What have those days been like?
Oh my goodness, it has been really amazing, unbelievable, frankly. And yeah, the reaction's been really positive and warming, and really to all the hardworking developers at Sledgehammer Games back home and to everybody at Activision, it's really been great. And for Glenn and I, it's really humbling to have, you know, the opportunity to tell this incredible story of heroism, to honor the men and women who've sacrificed to bring around victory, and what really is history's greatest conflict.
And you know, the team back in Foster City is watching the stream right now, and a shout out to all of you, and thanks for your hard work.
Because I'm guessing it has been 2.5 years of hard work. Yeah. Really hard work. Now, we've got tons to discuss, more questions that are coming in from you. You can get in touch with us on our social channels. And if they say that no man fights alone, no man presents alone either, because alongside me is a YouTuber. I call him the Crown Prince of Zombies. That is Mr. Dalek JD, who I know is super hyped right now.
That is correct, OJ, and I mean, that introduction was beautiful, and I'm just so happy to be here, and he's exactly right. Since Friday, we've been taking in your questions about the game via Twitter, and the response has just been phenomenal, and there is still time to get your questions in if you haven't already. All you'll need to do is make sure that you tweet at Call of Duty, making sure you use that hashtag COD World War II. Now, we already have some tweets to kick off the show.
Dalek go.
At Cal's Tweetings, who says, "I'm so excited, I can't believe it. COD is going back to its roots."
See, there you go. That's what a lot of tweets are saying, that Call of Duty going back to its roots. But this is all about gameplay as well. How does it, going back to its root, translate to gameplay?
Yeah, Call of Duty World War II returns to that grounded, fast action gameplay that the franchise was built on. And for us, the core Call of Duty experience, like the conflict of World War II, really puts an emphasis now on rewarding gun skill and strategy. And with an all-new boots-on-the-ground experience that immerses players in the intense combat of World War II like never before, we're bringing some great new innovations too, you know, things that were designed to elevate the player experience, things we want to touch about, but we're going to save for a little bit later in the show.
We are indeed saving it for a little bit later on. Make sure you stay tuned to this live stream. There's lots of things coming up. But Dalek, how do you feel about that?
I'm extremely excited by the fact that it's been nearly 10 years since Call of Duty has been in the World War II era, and I mean, that in itself is just extremely exciting. And judging by you guys over on Twitter, it seems I'm not the only one. Loads of fans are expressing their excitement around the fact of us being able to experience World War II era weaponry. Fans like Games412412 who tweets in saying, "What kind of weapons will we be seeing in Call of Duty World War II?"
Laser
Well, the
guns.
team worked to
No, of
bring
course
a
not.
wide variety of weapons, you know, from both the Allied and Axis forces to life. And for us, authenticity was key. So from the iconic ping of the empty M1 Garand to the power of the first assault rifle, the STG-44, these guns have a real weight to them that is really visceral. And it really, for me, brings me back to my fondest memories of playing Call of Duty with the fidelity now and the brilliance of what's only possible in the latest generation of gaming hardware. No automatic weapons symbolize
He won't
brutality
respond
of
to
World
me,
War
Alex.
II more than the belt-fed MG42,
He'd already got him
which
set
you'll
up.
see. Terrifyingly powerful weapon. There's the bolt action rifles of World War II and the singular damage that they could inflict in combat, like the M1903. And equipped with scopes or iron sights, these weapons were frankly pretty precise. And of course,
Has he
Glenn
given something
here
away
with
there,
his
though, about
45
weapon
caliber
modifications
grease gun,
with and without scopes?
running
Who
around
knows?
in spray and pray mode, you know.
Let's not start.
That just scratches the surface, frankly.
The king of spray and pray, eh? So, Glenn, what did you enjoy most then about making a World War II game with the current hardware?
Yeah, good question. You know, I really love the detail we can bring to the game nowadays. The way the soldiers walked and talked, the music of the era, the different locations we researched as the big set pieces for iconic battles. In Normandy specifically, it's the emotions created by combining elements like the sound of the 50 caliber rounds hitting the front of the boat, the vehicles crashing into the shore, and taking cover behind the hedgehogs. In each case, we're targeting the most realistic gaming experience possible.
And that's what it's about, isn't it? That realistic experience, that visceral sound that goes on as well. Dalek, what else is the community wanting to know?
Well, Borg, we have a tweet in from It's Enigma for the Win, who wants to know, what locations are we going to be fighting in?
Well, the game takes place entirely in the European theater, primarily between 1944 and 1945. And as you saw in the reveal trailer, players will storm the beaches of Normandy on D-Day, fight through the Hurtgen Forest, engage in urban combat through France and Belgium, and ultimately push towards Germany.
Yeah, that's right. And we want to showcase how ordinary men and women came together to accomplish the extraordinary. And while the story follows the 1st Infantry Division, we also fold in a story of diverse and global cast of characters like Major Crowley from the SOE. Now he's a UK intel officer who earns recognition for his heroism earlier in the war. He helps plan the Normandy landings and then coordinates with the French resistance activities.
Yeah, and while fighting through the German lines in France, players will be introduced to other great characters such as Rousseau, the powerful female leader of the French resistance who forms a close bond with all our cast members, cast of characters, as the story progresses. Throughout much of the campaign, though, you're going to play as Private Red Daniels, a young recruit who is seeing some of his first real action in the invasion of Normandy. He's joined by his best friend, Zussman, a Jewish-American private. You'll follow our squad across the European theater, and we're excited to say that a part of the cast is here today to talk more about the incredible journey.
They are indeed. We'll bring them up on stage in a second. Glenn, Michael, don't go anywhere because we will be talking to you later on with some more questions from the community. Keep them coming in. But please do give a warm welcome to Jonathan Tuck, who plays Red's best friend, Private Zussman. If we swap everyone out, let's swap everyone out here as we do this bit. And Jeffrey Pierce, who plays Lieutenant Turner. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. And it's great to
So
have
will single player
as well, because one of the great
be
things about
a
Call of
co-op
Duty
option
has
for
been
us?
that.
Who knows?
It's been
Hopefully we
the
might find
great
out.
Storytelling that goes on, and we've got the 3 J's here right now.
Josh
I know
from
you've had a huge amount of
Transformers.
passion from this game since day one, being part of this project. What most excited you?
Well, when I first heard about it, I sat with
Yes, it
with
is.
Brett and with Glenn, and they wouldn't even tell me what the game was at first because it was so confidential. And then, you know, they just told, you know, it was really about what the history of this was about and how much detail they wanted to pay to it. And as I really got to, you know, learn more about it and actually start working on the game.
I think the date is the
not
3rd
only
of
did
November.
they Pay attention
for release.
historically, but the writing was so incredibly good. I mean, it rivals
Duncan Shaw, you were right.
that I've ever read, you know, as far as movie scripts. So, you know, it's just something that I've always wanted to do, and it turned out to be as much fun as any job I've ever had.
And as Eric said earlier on, the story of World War II touches a lot of people emotionally, and that was something you brought into your performance, I would guess.
Not sure, Victor,
Yeah, I
on
mean,
the zombies side of things. I
again,
know there's
who
co-op
knew? I
mode.
thought it
Not
was just gonna be a
sure
good time
whether
playing,
zombies is it though.
Getting to work on a video game, and it turns out that these, you know, some of the scene work we got to do in this game was amazing, and these characters are so well rounded, and you know, they were right. They really did pay a lot of attention to, you know, being historically accurate and making sure these characters were had a lot of depth.
And if we're talking about characters, tell me about your character, the guy you play.
Well, I don't know, boys. What was he? He's a bit of a dick. He's somebody who is obviously mission before man, and you know, it was something that was fun for me because I love playing the dick. I love playing the guy who everybody hates, and ultimately he has the dilemma about, you know, is it mission before man, or is it really man before mission? Because he connects to these guys by the end of this story, and that's really what drew me to it.
Well, if we're talking about that connection, what was it like then, Jeffrey, when you're working together, that brotherhood feeling, when you're capturing your performances?
Well, we've been working together for 1.5 years at this point. Once a month, coming in, work 4 or 5 days. And I think we all bonded extraordinarily well. I mean, you don't mesh with people necessarily, but we walked into the room and felt like I'd known these guys for 10 years. And the work that we're being asked to do is of a scope of a massive feature film. And the storytelling sort of where games are at now, what you can capture, the detail in a performance. Story is as important as gameplay. And gameplay has always been seamless in Call of Duty, but this is like really getting to do work of a level that you would expect to do in a film.
And once you get past the, you know, the tight suit and the little reflector ping pong balls
you
and the
make
helmet
that work.
and the camera.
You really
And
make
once
that
you
work.
get past that, it feels like you're doing theater, I swear.
Yeah.
Because there's no, there's no coverage, there's no
Yeah,
close-up,
yeah.
so everybody is active the entire time in the motion capture or the PCAP sessions that we're doing, and it's an extraordinarily active, dynamic process where everybody is working the entire time. It's an exciting process to be a part of as an actor. The performances are so much more visceral and it's so much more of an exciting process to be a part of.
And you're relying on everybody else to help you get where you need to get. It's a great experience.
Well, because that's something you said to me earlier. I mean, I don't want to give anything away, but we met in the gym this morning. We bumped into each other. We were doing our mirror work, tons and tons. And you said it was like being on stage, and it lent a whole new dimension to your performances. Because I think when you're doing TV or film, you can be off, can't you?
Oh yeah, I mean, Josh and I, this is our first video game. Jeff's done quite a few. We're used to just sitting back on our Apple boxes in between takes, letting other people get their shots, but for the first time, we really had to work. The entire scene.
I mean, up to this point, it was just, we just do our close-up and then let somebody else do the other side.
Exactly right.
Head off to the trailer.
Yeah, off to my trailer. Call me.
No, but I mean,
that's not it. That's what I got. That's not
18 months with these guys. I've gotten to see both their kids grow up. They've gotten to see my dog get bigger. We've seen other cast members, lose girlfriends, get girlfriends. So that camaraderie was very reflective of this group of regular people who are diverse in religion, in age, in geography, in color, and getting to see that group of people in World War II is, I think, a wholly unique part of this game that I think people will appreciate when they're playing.
When you scratch the surface, you find out that these guys, they're not fighting for bigger ideas than the love of the brothers around them and risking their lives, sacrificing themselves for each other. Mm-hmm. It's not about flag or country when the rubber meets the road. It's about caring for each other, and that serves the bigger whole. But the connection between the men and the women on the front lines is as powerful a bond as you could see anywhere.
Yeah, and one thing that I think is also really cool about this is that not only is it a kick-ass game, but because they spent so much time making this historically accurate, it's going to expose the whole World War II story to a whole new generation. Mm. And that's really, I'm really honored to be a part of this game for that reason. And the fact that I get just sit to be in a video game, but the fact that it's, it is a visceral sort of thing, and I think that, anybody who isn't familiar with World War II is going to get a real feel for what it might have been like.
Because lots of people are writing articles about that at the moment, saying that this is how we get our history now. It's through this, and there's almost more empathy when you're fighting through an interactive character.
Well, there's 20 years since Saving Private Ryan. It's 10 years since Call of Duty had a World War II game. This is a whole new generation, and to speak to the pride that we've all felt making this game, it has been a true privilege to, even watching this behind the scenes, to be able to share with the world the small role that we've gotten to play in bringing this game to fans and a whole new generation to understand World War II.
Yeah. Josh, you mentioned connections. Am I right in thinking that somebody who sat around on this stage right now got a punch in on you at some point during the film?
Well, he did. Like we were saying, it's usually one take. You get the one take right and you move on to the next scene. Well, he kept screwing it up and taking another. Can I get one more?
We had to get it right.
I just need one more.
Very important to get it right.
Starting to wonder
authenticity. We're back to visceral authenticity, and you can't, hit somebody who's 6'4" every day without repercussions. So I took my licks where I could.
I appreciate your dedication to the craft.
Video frame rate is really struggling. I don't know whether it's Twitch or whether it's the actual stream, so we will play the trailer at the end. I'll go for a separate area to try and get it.
And what is it like watching yourself back in a game at this point? Because obviously you've done TV, you've done films, but watching yourself in the game.
Well, it takes a while to adjust to this tight, suit that you're wearing. It's all colorful with these balls and the whole thing.
Who looked the best? Who looked the best in the suit?
Jonathan, for sure. He's been doing a lot of squats.
Heavy deadlifting. Heavy deadlifting makes the suit look nice.
Once you get past that, and once you start to see some of the results and some of the stuff that the guys are working on in Foster City and all over the world, I think. I'm not sure where everybody's at, but again, thank you guys for all the work. But once you start to see what you're actually going to look like, it frees you up to really go for it, because you're not just in some silly suit. This is World War II, and this is some serious stuff.
Yeah.
And so it gives you a whole new freedom that you wouldn't otherwise have.
You can imagine your breath when when we're doing some of these winter scenes. You can squint at a fake sun and the volume, and those guys who have created this game build that in for you. So that freedom he's talking about, it's so exciting to explore.
And I think it sets it up for what Call of Duty is, which is great storytelling. But please put hands together for our cast who've come down here today, the 3 Js. Thank you so much. And all we're talking about there is the campaign. That's just all we're talking about there. Now, Dolly, I would guess you're still excited right now.
I mean, I think I'm just in a state of excitement. I can't really get out of it. That was awesome and very insightful to hear from the cast. Now, don't worry, we still have a lot of reactions and general tweets from the community to deliver to Glenn and Michael. We've got just a handful right here. We have Rob Stang, who says, I hope Michael Condrey and Glenn Schofield give us at least a little tease of multiplayer during the reveal. Smiley face. And at Woodworth Noah, who, and this is in all caps, by the way, this is going to be amazing. Loads of exclamation marks. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, as I look through all the tweets, there is an enormous amount of questions revolving around multiplayer. Guys, what can you tell us about multiplayer today?
So there you go, the community has spoken. That's what lots of people are excited about. Michael, what can you tell us about multiplayer?
Oh my goodness, we have so much to share. Now, we can't show you a lot today, a lot of big stuff coming at E3, but first and foremost, we're talking
roll on
boots
E3
the
then.
ground combat. And, you know, that well-balanced Call of Duty run-and-gun action in a brutal and visceral head-to-head conflict of World War II. So from maps to movement to weapons to melee, you know, our goal was to give players an all-new boots-on-the-ground experience for World War II. And then a bunch of new stuff, right? We've got war, an asymmetrical Allied versus Axis mode where factions fight to capture or defend critical objectives. Now this mode changes map design, strategy, teamwork, and we're really excited about its potential. We're also excited about Divisions. Divisions is a fundamentally new way to approach your Call of Duty multiplayer career, and it adds to the player immersion by allowing players to enlist in a specific unit of their choice. And finally, we have Headquarters. This is something special, everybody, at Sledgehammer Games, and it's the first of a kind for the Call of Duty community. It's really a living space where fans can connect, be rewarded, compete, show off, and have fun outside of matches. It's a transformation of how the community comes together, and we really want you to see it to understand it. So just a tiny peek here. Let's take a look.
Please don't let the video lag.
That was a tiny peek. I want more.
Oh my goodness, that was the smallest tiny peek ever.
So when we see more? When we can see more of this?
Well, you know, it's coming to E3, MP on the floor. For us, that's the first time Sledgehammer Games has been able to bring it to fans. Fans are coming to the conference, so it's going to be big. We're going to bring all that to you at E3.
That is going to be excellent.
Hey guys, hey guys, hey guys. I'm sorry to interrupt. I mean, multiplayer sounds sensational, but after reading other people's questions, I want to ask one of my own. Now, I know that there may or may not be some sort of co-op mode within World War II. Now, I am quite a big Zombies fan, and there is a lot of people watching around the world that are also in the same boat as me. So we're all asking right here, right now, what can you tell us about this co-op mode?
Absolutely nothing. No.
Brilliant.
Yeah, you know, our third mode is it's an entirely new story, and it's a pretty horrifying experience, sort of like your office. You know, for Michael and I, it's our first horror game in years, and we're really, really psyched about it. It's the story of the Third Reich's desperate attempt to create an army in the final stages of the war. We can't wait to share more. In fact, should we show a little something? Just a little tiny little peek.
Yeah. Whoa! Whoa! It's Dalek before makeup.
Nazi zombies. They are back.
Thank you very much. Guys, I mean, this says very little, and normally I would be a little disappointed, but how can I be when, I mean, that just looks incredible. I would ask for more, but I'm probably going to get a no, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
At least I tried.
That is a Nazi zombie on the biggest cinema screen in the United Kingdom.
Yes.
And I think that is a fabulous way to end this first look at the Call of Duty World War II than that. It has been an absolute ton of fun, and it's been great having you guys here as well.
Yeah, thanks so much. It's been a pleasure. You know, our hearts are full being able to share with fans, and we hope fans are just as excited about Call of Duty World War II as we are to make it. Without a doubt, it really is the most personal and powerful game I've ever worked on, and I know we can speak for all the developers at Sledgehammer Games when I say that we're holding nothing back for November.
Yeah, and you know, our thanks again for the support. This game is for you. And I'm sure Michael would agree, we've talked about this before, that this is the best game we've ever made.
The best game.
The best
game.
Yes.
There you go. So thank you very much to Glenn and to Michael from Sledgehammer Games. It is going to be such a wait till November the 3rd, it really is. So stick it in your iCal, tattoo it to the inside of your eyelids. November the 3rd, that is when this new Call of Duty, going back to its root, is coming out. World War II with this game. Thank you so much for joining us. Keep in touch via the social channels. How should we leave it? The way we came in. Let's have another look at that trailer.
Okay, if the trailer lags again, I'm going to come out and try and find it maybe on the YouTube channel, because it seems like it's going to be lagging again through Twitch.
With the violences of war. In this hour of great sacrifice, we shall prevail.
I think it's running a little bit better.
Get your head down and keep moving!
We are all that separates the world from darkness. The enemy is ruthless. We cannot, we must not fail.
Duty first.
Perez! Bumpy enough for you? How many casualties?
We executed the mission.
Get me the fuck out of here! How many?
We had orders!
Get to cover!
Lieutenant, tell them what we're all about.
No mission too difficult. No sacrifice too great.
Welcome to the bloody first. You're a long way from Texas, farm boy.
As well about what you now think of this game. It looks like they're going to replay this in 2 minutes, but what I am now going to do is I'm actually going to switch the screen over and quickly let you know about some other stuff. Then I will definitely come over to the chat and get your thoughts and views. So, first up, to let you know, you may have just seen a little teaser there because the screen flicked over slightly at a different time. We will be running a Kill of the Week, Kill of the Month, and Kill of the Year for Call of Duty World War II. So hopefully, you guys will be super excited for that. That is definitely something I cannot wait to get involved in and start playing about with, and just seeing all of your kills from all the boots on the ground experience that is going to be coming from that. That is something that is most definitely happening when the game probably launches in the beta. So that would be my ideal, that the beta would kind of be there. Oh, I've managed to just find the World War trailer as well on their YouTube channel, so we'll come back to that in a minute. So we'll definitely be doing that from the launch of the beta, and then obviously when the game launches on November 3rd. When do I think the beta will be? I would expect that if they show multiplayer at E3, which is in June, I reckon you can expect a beta late August, maybe early September. That is when I think it will be. So Victor Plays, I know you just asked her about the beta again. I think that is when we will see that. With regards to the game itself, it's out on November the 3rd. There's also another screen that you'll see popping up in the minute that GameStop have basically announced the Pro Edition. So this is kind of like one of the the bigger editions rather than just buying the game on its own. So it comes with the collectible steelbook and the season pass. Plus, I think if you pre-order, you get a Sledgehammer Games World War II hat. So that has already been leaked as well. I'm not sure. I might check as well the official website in a bit once we've done that. We've done the trailer again and basically see what is going on there to see if they've put any of the actual SKUs up online. You can always find out a few extra bits there. So you've seen the slides on screen now. Kill of the Week, Kill of the Month, and Kill of the Year is definitely happening here on the channel. I will hopefully be at E3. I will hopefully be getting capture and some content from World War II if all goes to plan. So that will definitely be coming to the channel as well as quickly as possible. I'm going to quickly flick back to my monitor so you can then see on here. This is the Call of Duty official channel for all their trailers. Now I'm going to try playing this trailer now and hope that we don't get the lag, so we can try and experience this without all of that utter nonsense and noise. Don't forget, if you do like the look of World War II, make sure you press the like button. If you don't like the look of World War II and you want something else, press the dislike button, but also make sure you let me know in the comments why and what you wanted from it. I mean, one other thing I'll say, I'm going to play this trailer actually first, then we'll come back to that. One sec, here we go.
This day have set upon a mighty endeavor. Souls will be shaken with the violences of war. In this hour of great sacrifice, we shall prevail.
Get your head down and keep moving!
We are all that separates the world from darkness. The enemy is ruthless. We cannot, we must not fail.
Duty first.
Hey, Perez! Won't be enough for you! How many casualties?
We executed the mission.
Get me the fuck out of here! How many?
We had orders!
Get to cover!
Lieutenant, tell them what we're all about.
No mission too difficult. No sacrifice too great.
Welcome to the bloody first. You're a long way from Texas, farm boy.
Okay, so what I did there, I muted the microphone, and now I'm back. I've been talking for the last 10 minutes. Brilliant. Well, not the last 10 minutes, since the trailer ended. So, I didn't... apologies for that. What I was saying was, if you want to find out more about the story, you need to try and check out a box set. I know a lot of people were talking about Saving Private Ryan in the chat. What you want to go and check out is, if you haven't seen it, check out Band of Brothers. So, it's a great series. It's only about, I think, 8 episodes, but you should be able to find it on demand. I would highly recommend you watching that if you want to know a bit more about the backdrop of the World War II experience and what you can expect from that. Zombies is now confirmed. The beta itself, we now know, is confirmed. I think that's going to be somewhere around September. If you look at there's some writing at the bottom of here, so actual platform availability and launch dates subject to change. Beta may begin on different dates for each platform, so we know PlayStation 4 has got the exclusive content for at least the next 30 days early access. The beta is going to run for 3 days at a time, or the minimum duration is going to be 3 days, so it'd be similar to what they probably did with Infinite Warfare, 3 days on over the weekend, 3 days off. Outside of that, We know that Zombies is coming. And then from a multiplayer perspective, we saw that really small tease. That, to me, looked like the beach front where everybody, like the Americans, have landed. But it looked like the tower experience or something similar that you get in Destiny. So everybody is going to be there and going to basically be able to congregate there, and you're going to go from there to either join up with squads, go off and do missions, so on and so forth. That's the only thing I could take from that multiplayer part of that. The campaign, they've obviously shown quite a bit of, and the main focus of this whole like stream and reveal has been the campaign, which does look phenomenal. But we now know Zombies is coming. We now know multiplayer is happening. We know a beta is coming. We know you're going to have hands-on multiplayer at E3. So you're talking middle of June. This game is going to be playable if you're at E3. I say I will go into E3 if I get myself sorted and get it planned, and hopefully that way we will all then be able to hopefully get some capture, and I can get that onto the channel for you, and kind of show off as much of that as possible to try and give you as much information that I can find out, whether it be from the campaign multiplayer or Zombies. So we all now know what is happening. November the 3rd, this game releases. This has been the live stream reveal plus a little bit extra. You now know a bit about the Pro Edition. We now know that I will hopefully be running, well, I will be running a Kill of the Week, Kill of the Month, and Kill of the Year for Call of Duty World War II when it launches. So thanks to everybody for coming out. If you do have any questions in the chat, make sure you put them in now. I'll stay on for another 5 or so minutes going through the chat, answering your questions. If you did like the video and you like what you see of Call of Duty World War II, make sure you press that like button. If you didn't like what you see, just press the dislike button. Simple as that. So here we go. What have you guys got for me in the chat? Did you like what you saw? If you did like what you see, just if you didn't want to press the like button, just put a 1 in the chat. Let's see how many 1s we can get. If you didn't like it, put 2 in the chat, and we can see how that goes. I'm just waiting now to see what happens in the chat. See what is coming from you guys out there. Hopefully you're as excited as I am. Aidan Papworth, no. That's a good question. Deadpool ripped Battlefield. Yeah, I think it's going to offer a different experience. I think this will definitely be a lot smaller than Battlefield, as in the play areas. It will still be like that Call of Duty experience, whereas Battlefield still has your planes, tanks, much larger experiences, and I would expect the gameplay to probably stick to a Call of Duty style rather than a Battlefield style. One thing as well I would also point out is if you look at the way the games are going to play out, and you do compare it to what will Battlefield do now? If they were thinking that their next game was going to be World War II, will they change their minds on what they're doing now? Very interesting to now look at that dynamic. And another thing for me is one very interesting question I have is, will the CWL be able to work with World War II? Will people in esports want to watch World War II? Who knows? We will hopefully find out very soon, and we'll see what the esports team start saying about it as well, because they didn't mention anything. They did mention multiplayer, but I know it's really early. They didn't mention anything about the CWL because they won't want to take anything away from the CWL currently doing the Infinite Warfare year. So that'll be interesting, definitely. So that is going to probably bring this stream to its conclusion. Thank you to everybody who's come out. Apologies for that short period of time where we had the microphone issue. Got that sorted. Apologies for the lag at the start. That was definitely a Twitch thing. I'm going to play through the trailer one more time, and we're going to see everything we can once again in this trailer, and hopefully enjoy it as much as we did the first, second, and third time that we did see it. So here we go. If you did, don't forget, press the like button. Smash it if you do like the game. If you don't, make sure you press the dislike button, and we will then get a feedback to Activision as to what we think about this game.
This day have set upon a mighty endeavor. Souls will be shaken with the violences of war. In this hour of great sacrifice, we shall prevail.
Get your head down and keep moving!
We are all that separates the world from darkness. The enemy is ruthless. We cannot, we must not fail.
Duty first.
Hey, Perez! Bumpy enough for you? casualties. We executed the mission. Get me the fuck out of here. How many? We had orders! Get to cover!
Lieutenant, tell them what we're all about.
No mission too difficult. No sacrifice too great.
Welcome to the bloody first. You're a long way from Texas, farm boy.
So thank you to everybody for coming out, watching this stream. We have all seen this exactly the same time. Very interesting indeed. Super excited, super stoked to know more about the game, and also hopefully get hands-on with this at E3 and give you as much information and footage as I possibly can after that. Be good to know what you think as well, so make sure this video will go up as an actual video after the stream ends, so if you do have any comments, make sure you put them down below. I'd love to read what you think, and hopefully be able to feed that back to Activision as well. So that is it for this stream. Again, really appreciate you all coming out, following me on this journey. It's been immense over the last year, so I can only thank you so much for all of your support, and also for coming out on this stream as well. I say apologies for the lag, it was definitely a Twitch thing right at the start. We got that sorted, but this is Call of Duty World War II, November the 3rd. I cannot wait. Thank you to everybody for coming out, watching this, and I will speak to you again in the next one.